The first English colony, Virginia, was founded in 1607 by members of the Virginia Company of London. Their story was in many ways typical of the early colonists, while in others it was not. The 104 men and boys who made the voyage to Virginia planned to search for gold and to try to find a new route to Asia. As the ships left England to cross the Atlantic, many of the passengers had worried about the long voyage that lay ahead of them. But by the spring, after 4.5 months at sea, they had safely reached the Chesapeake Bay in Virginia. After exploring, they found an island in a large river that flows into the bay and decided to build their settlement on it. First, they had to cut down trees, clear the land, and make wooden beams from which to build houses. They filled the spaces between the beams with woven branches and mud, a building method called daub and wattle, and they made thatched roofs from reeds that grew in the nearby swamps. When they were done, the houses of the settlement they named Jamestown, after King James, looked a lot like those they had known in England, but most of them were quite small and had only one room. As time went by, the colonists also built barns where they could store supplies. And they built a new church where regulations required them to worship twice a day. They even sharpened logs to make a wall all the way around the first English town, or fort as they called it, for protection against both hostile tribes of American Indians and from the Spanish soldiers that lived to the south in Florida. Most of the work of building Jamestown was done by the poorer colonists. The other half of the colonists were wealthy members of England's upper class who, according to the old English ways of doing things, were not expected to work. This caused many bad feelings at the colony, but that was just one problem Jamestown faced. Another was that it was built on swampy land that was bad for farming. Most of the drinking water was no good. The swamps were filled with disease-carrying mosquitoes, and because of these things, as well as starvation, around 440 out of 500 colonists had died by the spring of 1610.